fifth graders? Welcome to another week of math. Last week, we were comparing and ordering fractions and decimals. This week, we're going to still be working with decimals. However, we're going to be multiplying and dividing them. So let's get into our learning target for today. I want you to repeat after me. I can multiply and divide decimals using place value discs and a place value chart. If you didn't catch it because it was a little broken up, we're going to be multiplying and dividing decimals today using place value discs and a place value chart. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I don't have any place value discs. That's okay. I'm going to give you 3 options today for place value discs that you can use so that you can participate in the lesson. Let's get started. Option number 1. If you head on over to your learning path, you know where you found the link to this video, there's also going to be a link to a printable set of place value discs. I put mine on colored paper because I just love colored paper, but you can print it on white or whatever you have at home. And then you are going to cut them out so that you are ready to go. We have one for our thousandths, our hundredths, our tenths, and our ones place. Go check that out. All right, guys, option number 2. If you have a computer, a tablet, or even a cell phone, then you can use your manipulatives virtually. So I'm going to share my screen so that you can take a peek at that. All right, here is the site with the manipulatives that are virtual. I already have a disc in the tenths place, a disc in the hundredths place, and a disc in the thousandths place on my place value chart. Now, when you go to this site, you want to make sure that you click on the box at the bottom and then hit go. If you click on anything else, it's not going to work. And if you look over here, you have, if you look over here, you have all of your place value discs. I have discs for the thousandths place, disc for the hundredths place, discs for the tenths place, and discs for the ones place. And it goes all the way up to the millionths place, but we're not going to need that one. And finally, for option number 3, we're going to use paper, scissors, and a pencil to make our own. Let's get ready to multiply decimals. I'm going to find the product of 3 and 2/10 and 3. First, I'm going to put 3 in the ones place and 2 in the tenths place. Because my other factor is 3, I need to do 3 ones 2 more times. Now I am ready to add 2/10 2 more times. Now it's time to count my place value discs. I have 6 in the tenths place and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the ones place. Therefore, my product is 9 and 6/10. I'm going to find the quotient of 84 hundredths and 2. I'm going to start by putting 8 place value discs in the tenths place and 4 in the hundredths place. I am dividing by 2, so I'm going to start in the tenths place and divide this group into 2 equal parts. Now I'm going over to the hundredths place and dividing that into 2 equal parts. I can see in the tenths place that I have 4 in each group, and I can see in the hundredths place that I have 2 discs in each group. Therefore, my quotient is 42 hundredths. Let's do one quick review. Our learning target for today was SOL 5.5a. I can multiply and divide decimals using place value discs and a place value chart. You have your place value disc. You can make a place value chart with a piece of paper and a pencil. Here is our first practice question. What is the product of 2 and 33 hundredths and 4? What is the product of 2 and 33 hundredths and 4? Pause the video here so that you can solve this problem. All right, let's go over the answer. So here is my place value chart. I already have it labeled. I have tens, ones, tenths, hundredths, and thousands. And of course, you can see where I have my decimal points. We're going to start by just filling in the numbers on our place value chart. My number was 2 and 33 hundredths, so I filled that in on my place value chart. Now I'm going to place my place value discs that match 2 and 33 hundredths. So that's 2 ones, 3 tenths, and 3 hundredths. Now because we're multiplying times 4, I have to create my number with my place value discs 4 times. So now you can see I have 2 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 33, I have 3 tenths. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And I have 3 hundredths. 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Now I'm ready to put these numbers in the groups of 10. Starting in my hundredths place, I have made a group of 10. Now I can rename that group of 10 hundredths as 1/10, because 1/10 is equal to 10 hundredths. Now I'm going to move over to my tenths place to see if I can make a group of 10 or how many groups of 10 I can make. There's one group of 10. I'm going to rename that one group of 10 tenths into a 1, because 1 is the same as 10 tenths. Now I'm going to move over to my ones place to see if I can make a group of 10. I cannot make a group of 10 because I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I cannot make a group of 10. So I'm done. Now I'm going to count how many place value discs are left in my place value chart. And I just counted, there were 9 ones. These here, we're not going to look at them because we've already renamed those tenths as a 1. So I have 1, 2, 3 tenths, and I have 1, 2 hundredths. I can't forget to bring my decimal point down. So my answer then, or the product of 2 and 33 hundredths and 4 is 9 and 32 hundredths. Let's get ready for practice problem number 2. What is the product of 5 and 6 hundredths and 2? I'm looking for the product of 5 and 6 hundredths and 2. So let's get started. My number is 5 and 6 hundredths. In the number 5 and 6 hundredths, I have 5 ones. I have 0 tenths, and I have 6 hundredths. I'm going to use my place value disc to create that number. 5, no tenths, and now 6 hundredths. But because I'm multiplying by 2, I need to make that number again. 5, no tenths, and 6 hundredths. Now I'm going to start in my hundredths place to see if I can make any groups of 10. Let's see. I've made one group of 10. I'm going to rename that group of 10 hundredths as 1/10. This group right here of 10 hundredths, I'm going to rename as 1/10. Can I make another group of 10 in the 10th place? I cannot because I only have one. So now I'm going to move over to my ones place. Let's see if I can make a group of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I can make a group of 10. So I'm going to rename my 10 ones as 1/10. Now I'm ready to see what I have in my place value chart. If I look at the tens place, I have 1/10. I have renamed all of my ones as tens, so I have 0 ones left. I have 1/10 and I have 2 hundredths. I can't forget to bring my decimal point down, so my answer then is 10 and 12 hundredths. Did you get that? I bet you did. All right, let's move on to practice question number 3. This one is division, so this time we're going to be finding the quotient. All right, here's my place value chart. I'm going to fill it in. I have 4 ones, 2 tenths, 2 hundredths, and 1/1000th. Now, this time, I'm only going to put my numbers in one time. I don't have to create them using my place value discs multiple times because we're dividing instead of multiplying. So my number is going to be getting smaller rather than larger. So I have 4 ones, 2 tenths, 2 hundredths, and 1/1000th. All right, now let's see. We're dividing by 3. So I need to see, starting in my ones place, if I can make any groups of 3. I have made one group of 3. And you see, I have one friend left over, one who's left over, and he can't just sit there by himself. We're going to rename him as 10 tenths. 10 tenths. Now, if you look at my tenths place, we're going to see how many groups of 3 we can make in our tenths place because we're divided by 3. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I made 4 groups of 3 in my tenths place. I don't have any left over, so I don't have anything to rename. Moving over to my hundredths place, can I make a group of 3 over there? No, I cannot, because I have only 2 hundredths. So I'm gonna have to rename those 2 hundredths as thousandths. Well, 1/100th is equal to how many thousandths? Right, 10. 1/100th is the same as 10 thousandths. So 2 hundredths is going to be the same as what? Right, 20 thousandths. Now, I had 1/1000th. I've added 20 thousandths. How many thousandths do I have now? Right, 21. Let's see if we can make any groups of 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have made 7 groups of 3 in my thousandths place. So now I'm ready to go back over to my ones place to see how many groups of 3 did I make in each place on my place value chart. Well, let's look at the ones. Here's one group of 3. Moving over to my tenths place, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 groups of 3. I don't have any groups of 3 in my hundreds place. And I don't know if you're going to see this little number because all of those thousands there, but I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 3 in the thousandths place. Now, all I need to do is bring my decimal point down, and there is my quotient, 1 and 407 thousandths. One more practice problem. This one is also division. We are going to find the quotient of 14 and 21 hundredths and 7. So 14 and 21 hundredths divided by sevenths. We're looking for the quotient. So I'm going to start by filling in my number. I have 1 10, 4 ones, 2 tenths, and 1 hundredth. And again, we're dividing by 7. But because we're dividing, I only have to use the place value disk to create my number one time. Let's come over here to the tens place. Can I make a group of 7? No. Why not? Right, because we only have 1. We don't have 7. So we need to rename our 110 as 10 ones. Now I'm going to see in my ones place if I can make a group of 7. There's a group of 7. Can I make another one? There's another group of 7. Do I have anything else that I need to move over and rename? No, because there's nothing left there. Now let's move over to the tenths place. Can I make a group of 7 in the tenths place? Why not? Right, because I only have 2. I don't have 7. So let's rename my tenths as hundredths. Now, 1/10 is equal to how many hundredths? Right, 10. 1/10 is equal to 10 hundredths. Now, I got 2 tenths though. So how many hundredths is 2 tenths going to be equal to? Right, 2 tenths is going to be equal to 20 hundredths. Because I'm divided by 7, now I need to see if in my hundredths place, I can make groups of 7. There's 1 group of 7. There's 2 groups of 7. There's 3 groups of 7. Now, y'all are smart, so you may have already had that. Well, let's go now and calculate and see what our quotient is. If I go over to my tens place, I had already renamed my tens as ones. So I'm not going to have a number in the tens place. In the ones place, I have 2 groups of 7. I have to now move over to the tenths place. I have no tenths left because I've already renamed them into the hundredths place. So I have 0 tenths, and I have 0 groups of 7 in the tenths place. And then finally, in the hundredths place, I have a group of 7 here, so that's 1. A group of 7 here, so that's 2. And a group of 7 here, so that is 3. And I cannot forget about my decimal point. So my quotient then is 2 and 3 hundredths. 2 and 3 hundredths. How did you do with those practice questions? I know you did amazing. Now you're going to go over and answer your practice set questions, and then I will share the answers with you. So pause the video right here so you can go answer those questions. All right, guys, you have done an amazing job so far today. Let's go over our practice set questions really quickly, and then you'll be done. All right, the first question was, find the product of 5 and 63 hundredths and 4. You should have gotten 22 and 52 hundredths as your answer. How'd you do with that one? Great. All right, the second question was 6 and 72 hundredths. divided by 3. And you should have gotten 2 2400 as the quotient. The third question was a word problem. Miss Washington purchased 5 bags of chips for her class. Each bag cost $4.36. How much money did Miss Washington spend on the chips? You should have gotten that she spent $21.80 on the chips for her amazing students. And finally, Miss Brown used 15 and 35 meters of wood to make 5 bookshelves. How many meters of wood did she use on each bookshelf? And you should have gotten that she used 3 7/100 meters on the bookshelf. How did you do with those? That's right, because you are awesome. Well, guys, that's it for today. Come back tomorrow so that we can keep multiplying and dividing decimals. Bye.